Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It is a great pleasure to be with all of you here at the Al-Taqwa University Conference. And it is my pleasure to be colleagues with professors and students in Nangarhar province and obviously throughout Afghanistan on this subject of home economics. My talk today is about sustainable living through home economics and having a path to individual and community development as we move forward. However, I would like to say a big special thank you to all the organizers for making this conference possible for all of us living in Afghanistan and also those of us who are outside of Afghanistan. And secondly, I would like to thank all the policymakers, ministers, deputy ministers for encouraging and supporting our students and our faculty and our administration to have such events for collaborations locally, regionally, and internationally. So thank you all. The agenda for today is to determine how we should study home economics and how we should promote it throughout urban and rural communities in Afghanistan, and what can be done by the local leaders, by educators, and by policymakers to hopefully create a nice path toward entrepreneurship for those who are passionate and interested in home economics fields. Home economics courses were originally offered as a way of enriching women's education in the 19th century throughout the Western world, but it has slowly established its importance in modern education. As a matter of fact, in the United States, we have about 187 colleges and universities that offer home economics as a major for young students, which is obviously both boys and girls who are interested in various fields within the home economics majors. And home economics is more than just buying food, selling food, making food, or food within the household or community. So it's about family living, it's about housing and interior design and decoration, it's about home management, it's about nutrition and food, obviously. And it can include child development and care, ultimately clothing and textile and fabric. But most importantly, I guess it's about consumer education. So home economics is more than just food handling. It's about consumer education and improving life for individuals and families while preparing men and women for a healthy living and sustainable employment. Home economics can include many skills, subjects, and functions, which can include the fact that people learn about the science of food preservation, nutrition, and healthy living. It can include financial literacy and what can be done to make sure the limited resources are sustainable in the family as well as in the community. It's about buying, building, and maintaining a wholesome home through competency in housing management, as well as interior design and decoration. It's about knowing the psychology of happiness, culture, and clothing. It's about gaining knowledge on science and practice of child development and growth within the family and the community. It's about developing good relationships with the family as well as the community, in acquiring competency and skills for jobs in fields of home economics that currently exist and those that are yet to come. So home economics falls under the umbrella of family and consumer sciences, which does include STEM fields. That would be the science, technology, engineering, and math education. So home economics curriculum development, we can basically go the simple route or we can take the more complex route, which hopefully is going in the right direction. And that means assessing the needs of each community to see what type of curriculum is needed, and then institutions offering those. So when students graduate, they can actually get jobs, maintain jobs, or create jobs as entrepreneurs within the field. So the skills that are needed in developed cities might not be the same skills that people need in rural areas of the country. So the needs of the local population must be taken into consideration in order to enable them, in order to build capacity of all young men and women in that area to be able to become entrepreneurs, to manage the household, to create jobs using the skills that they gain in the curriculum. So we need to act locally and situationally based on the needs of the community, and universities must do some research and then hopefully follow the findings to enable each community and individuals to become entrepreneurs and skilled at home economics. In Afghanistan, where women play a crucial role in household management and childcare, advocating for them and promoting home economics can be particularly empowering. By acquiring knowledge and skills in home economics, men and women in all parts of Afghanistan can improve their household health, their nutrition, and financial stability, which can ultimately contribute to the overall country's human development, which is really an important milestone to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals for 2030. So home economic skills and competencies can provide women with a sense of autonomy and confidence while enabling them to make informed decisions about their lives and to participate more fully in their local communities, as well as national and international affairs concerning their well-being. By investing in home economics education and training, Afghanistan can unlock the potential of their diverse citizens, promote sustainable economic development, and build a more resilient and prosperous future for everyone in the country through inclusionary practices and opportunities. Experience in home economics is important. So I myself started working as a teenager in a bakery department in South Florida, in western part of Florida. And while I was going to school, I also learned how to make bread, how to make donuts, how to make cakes, for example. But I had to learn the science of how to do that in order to understand the legal components associated with good health and to make sure our customers were taken care of and they did not have to worry about becoming sick eating our products. So I had to learn about temperature. I had to learn about how resources should be used efficiently and effectively and how to manage the people resources around production components. And as a result of that, obviously, I learned to become a very good manager with a company that is now a $52 billion company in the United States, having over 250,000 employees. I retired after 16 years, but I was lucky enough to transition into academia because I had earned graduate degrees, again, in the field of business and entrepreneurship and human resource management, all from my humble beginnings working in the bakery department. And also, if you look at the example of H. Wayne Huizinga, he started with basically taking trash out from each community to dispose of it in a sustainable and legally compliant manner. And eventually, he made a huge business that expanded globally around the world called Waste Management. So that became a multi-billion-dollar company. And he went on to start other businesses that also became billions of dollars worth of investments for him and his employees and family. So home economics, again, does not have to stay small. You can grow and become much bigger in the years to come as long as you learn the science of home economics. Another example would be Ben and Jerry's ice cream. Now, I had a chance to meet Mr. Jerry as well. And, they started selling ice cream at the college level. to see how it would work out during a summer period. So obviously selling ice cream became a big business because they learned the science of selling ice cream and managing the business while also doing good for the community. So they didn't measure just the bottom line profits, but they also said we want to improve the life of the community as well. So the key is to not only do good for yourself, but also do good for those around you and the communities in order for a business to be sustainable. As a matter of fact, Jack Ma from China once said that if you offer work in business to people, they will choose work because most people do not know that a business can make more money than a salary. So most students spend a lot of time in school learning basically how to work for a salary instead of starting a business. So home economics majors should learn to basically do a good job in their areas of passion, but they should also learn to become entrepreneurs as needed to grow their business and also do more for their family as well as the community and the culture overall. So the Sustainable Development Goals of 2030 agenda includes three interdependent dimensions of sustainable social, economic, and environmental development. And I think when we have a curriculum set up around sustainability, hopefully all students learn how to contribute to the social, economic, and environmental developments as well. Promoting knowledge and expertise about home economics in Afghanistan can have a transformative impact on the country's economic development and household well-being. That is always clear that young people are the future of Afghanistan in the world. So the more we enhance their capacity to perform in home economics, the more likely that they will be the future entrepreneurs and job creators, not just in the community, but throughout the country. Home economics education can and must empower both Afghan women and men. Afghan women are often the primary caregivers and household managers. Home economics knowledge and expertise allows them to take control of their financial lives or monetary lives and make decisions based on the situation and based on their needs at a given time. By investing in home economics education, Afghanistan can build a more resilient and resourceful population, become better equipped to overcome poverty, which is right now obviously throughout rural communities in Afghanistan, and also improve the quality of life for both men and women. There are several dimensions in home economics that should be considered in any academic curriculum. So there's the academic discipline to basically educate new scholars, but we also need to make sure that the lives of people on a day-to-day basis are enhanced. So the practical implications should be considered. So the curriculum area needs to be situational and help students discover and develop their resources and capabilities and passions. But it should also have a societal impact to influence and develop policy and advocate for well-being and empowerment of both men and women, and utilize transformative practices while facilitating sustainable futures for all inhabitants throughout Afghanistan. Home economics should be built on a foundation of philosophy, mission, vision, goals, values, and principles that are consistent and clear regarding each community's needs. And those practices, competencies, skills, and processes should be transparent and should be developed over time based on experimentation and improved. So yes, they should be based on theory, based on knowledge, based on concepts and framework that can hopefully be an important part of research for anyone interested in home economics, especially higher education students. Economics is an interdisciplinary field. It should include biology, physics, psychology, chemistry, ecology, nutrition, home economics, engineering, architecture, and other such fields that become an important part of capacity building of our students so they can compete not just locally and nationally, but internationally at any institution with researchers and practitioners all over the globe. Home economics career paths can be many areas, so we should not discourage students from pursuing their passion, but we need to let them know that there's a wide area of home economics that they can develop their expertise and specialize in. They cannot learn every field of home economics, but if they specialize in one area, they can become the best at that profession or in that area and hopefully make a good living for their family members and themselves, but also for the community and ultimately for Afghanistan. Capacity building basically means a person who started to work at a bakery making bread and cookies and donuts to where he or she learns the science of food making, food delivery, food consumption, and the needs of consumers. So making a science of it basically means learning on a continuous basis. So I myself, again, did that, but I also went to get master's degrees and also doctoral degrees and specializations in various areas related to home economics. And now I serve as a professor over the last 25 years at the Research One institution. So that is the idea behind the science of home economics, to make sure students have the capacity to not just develop themselves, but to be able to develop their communities in the country, if not on a global scale. So my students and I once had an opportunity to go to the Coke headquarters in Atlanta. So this was a doctoral course where students were learning about international business. So we studied basically how Coca-Cola has been able to become a global icon throughout the world. And obviously, as we see from Dr. Victor Room's expectancy theory of motivation, if you build people's capacity, develop their skills, and develop their passion, and obviously provide them the resources, eventually people are motivated and they achieve the outcome that they set out to do. So academic environments provide students the opportunities to meet and understand the theories and concepts of the past and how they can apply to the current and future endeavors in enterprises in the workplace and in the home communities. The faculty, students, and administrators must work as partners to research in such a way where the outcome of that research can be used immediately in local communities. So whether it's in Afghanistan, whether it's in Pakistan, Iran, Malaysia, Ethiopia, Vietnam, Thailand, or other communities, if students and faculty partner with local entrepreneurs and home economics experts, then hopefully they can work on projects as part of the academic curriculum to where it can hopefully lead to a better outcome for those entrepreneurs in each community. So educational institutions in Afghanistan can and must play a vital role in promoting home economics by incorporating it into their curricula. By offering locally relevant courses and programs in home economics, schools and universities can equip students with relevant and essential skills in areas such as management, marketing, finance, et cetera, so this can empower students, particularly women, to manage their households effectively and also contribute to their family's economic stability. Educational institutions can provide a platform for students to generate income and also promote entrepreneurship. So to effectively teach home economics, teachers should focus on hands-on learning experiences that allow students to develop practical skills through a combination of demonstrations, group work, and individual projects that stimulate real-life scenarios. In addition to that, obviously, students and faculty can partner with local farmers, local home economic experts to basically guide them in terms of making their businesses a little bit better. So students can participate in cooking classes, meal planning exercises, and budgeting simulations or real life projects to learn these skills. Teachers can also invite guest speakers from the industry to provide insights into the latest trends and technologies in the field of home economics. Ultimately, sustainable development goal strategies can be having many dimensions. It should focus on diversification, innovation, investment in human capital, environmental protections, good governance. So all of these requires students, professors, administrators, universities, policymakers, politicians, and all relevant stakeholders locally, nationally, and internationally to partner together to develop the human capital in Afghanistan, which should be inclusive of both young men and women, to obviously not only enable them to do well for themselves, but also hopefully they can develop the community as well as the country over time. And my recommendation is that you should have multiple channels for promoting home economics. One of them would be through education and training, which can be inclusive of vocational training programs, as well as empowering all the women to move on to do businesses for themselves because they have the skills already in the Afghan culture for much of the home economics areas. Entrepreneurship and business development, which can include microfinance initiatives as well as small business incubators. There's community development where community-based projects can be led by students and professors in each college. And also food preservation and storage research can be done, given the climate, the environment, and the lack of electricity in some areas. So there can be innovative maybe methods and processes that need to be researched so others can benefit from it. And then in terms of home economics, it can generate income for people. So what activities would be the most productive for Afghan men and women? And how do they access the market? This is where the policymakers, government officials, and also local entrepreneurs can assist and help out and guide. And then ultimately, as professors and faculty and administrators, we need to focus on capacity building of women and men, as well as being partners and collaborators with the local community. Everybody do a little bit better in the area of home economics as entrepreneurs and also as active citizens in the community. So as a summary, we can say that recognizing and accommodating diverse gender, ethnic, religious, and language identities of all Afghans through inclusionary approaches in all home economics developments must be the norm for all faculty members, for administrators, and policymakers in each community throughout the country. Because by promoting home economics for a sustainable living, Afghanistan can empower all of its citizens to contribute to the nation's economic development, as well as to improve their own family and community's overall well-being. Thank you for listening to this presentation. And obviously, if you have comments, suggestions, and recommendations, please write them in the comment section or email me at mujtaba@nova.edu. Thank you very much. Khoda Hafiz.